My dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are fine and safe in this current pandemic situation. I also hope you are maintaining all the health rules which have been instructed by the government. Dear students, here I will give lecture on information transfer, which has been prepared by me, Muhammad Tariqul Islam Sharkar, in short, TIS, lecturer in English, Bangla Medium Morning Shift, Rajagutra Model College. Dear students, at first, you'll see the learning outcome of this lesson. That means what we will learn here, we will see here at a glance. First, sample question. Here I will give you a sample question so that you can see how the question actually looks like. Reading techniques. Here I will show you all the reading techniques so that you can find out the correct and accurate answers from the passage. Keywords of information transfer. Keywords of information transfer are very, very important. You'll get those keywords at the top of the table in bold letter. And keeping those keywords in mind, you have to find out the correct answer from the text. Techniques to solve information transfer. There are several techniques to solve information transfer. We also learn those precious techniques. Question analysis. Here I will analyze question so that you can answer correctly, so that you can answer within a very short time. Obtaining good marks. Obviously, if you can learn all the techniques, if you can learn all the ways to find out the correct and accurate answer, obviously you will get good marks in the exam. Dear students, now reading techniques. Here I will show you all the reading techniques which are very, very important to find out the correct answer within a very short time. First, scanning. Scanning means to get a specific information from the text. Here you have to understand word by word. Then you can get the specific information. Skimming. Skimming means to get main points quickly. Here your main target will be to find out the main points as quick as possible. Active reading. That means to get an in-depth understanding. Detailed reading. That means to extract information accurately. Speed reading. That means to understand a text as fast as possible. Now, what is information transfer? Information. Information means facts provided or learned about something or someone. Transfer means move from one place to another. That means you have to transfer the information from the passage into the table. An information transfer activity involves the students to put spoken or written texts into another form, such as chart, grid, picture, table, or diagram, or vice versa. Dear students, now the keywords of information transfer, which are very, very important. You will get these keywords at the top of the table in bold letter. Remember that before going to find out the correct answer, you must have to keep these keywords and the gaps of the table in your mind. Otherwise, it's not possible to find out the right answer. Now we will see what are those keywords. First one, who, whom, whose. If you get who, whom, whose, that means you have to write down a name of a person. If you get what, that means you have to write down about action or thing. If you get where, that means you have to write down a name of a place. If you get when or while, that means you have to write down the time or month or year. If you get events or activities or happening, that means you have to write down about the actions or functions. If you get result or effect, that means you have to write down the consequence or outcome. If you get characteristics, that means you have to write down the features. If you get achievement or contribution, that means you have to write down the skills or deeds. Now, dear students, the most important one, techniques to solve information transfer. First one, read the given text and table carefully. Dear students, I will tell you to read the table at first very carefully, and then keeping the keywords and gaps of the table in mind, go for reading the text. Then it will be easy for you to find out the correct and accurate answer. Underline the expected answers or key information. Dear students, when you will start reading the text, try to underline the expected answers or key information like names, years, activities. Dear students, write only answer. Do not rewrite or don't draw the table. That means in the exam paper, you do not need to draw any table, or you do not you do not write to rewrite the sentence. What you have to do, you have to write only the answer. Okay, remember that you have to write only the answer, and obviously in vertically, not horizontally. Gap filling activities. Dear students, if you can take it as gap filling activities, then it will be much easier for you to find out the accurate answer. Reread and fill in the answers. Dear students, remember that after getting the information, try to reread the table. If you reread the table, then it will be easy for you to actually write down the correct answer, because you have to match your information with the rest of the part of the table. Right answer in phrase. Dear students, suppose you have to write a year, that means 1970. How you'll write? You have to write it in 1970. Okay, so try to write it in phrase. Dear students, you can see now the time of question analysis. Here I have given you a question. At the very beginning, it will be written here that read the passage on the biography of Einstein. Complete the table below with the information from the passage. Then you'll get a passage, then you'll get a table. What you have to do, you have to read the table at first. Like these, what are the keywords, name of the table, place, year or time, achievement. Then you have to see what are the questions. Number one is in the place. Number two is in the under the name of the event. Number three is under place. Number four question is under year or time. Number five is under achievement. Now what you have to do, you have to read the text and you have to underline the expected answers or keywords. Now dear students, let's start reading the text. Albert Einstein was one of the greatest scientists of the world. He was born at the first as the first child of Jewish parents in Ulm, Germany, underline Ulm, Germany, on 14th March 1879, underline it. His father was a businessman and his family business was the manufacture of electronic parts. When the business failed in 1894, underline it, the family moved to Milan, underline this information. Within a year, still without having completed secondary school, he failed in an examination that would have allowed him to pursue a course of study leading to diploma as an electrical engineer at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. He was an average student but was very interested in science and mathematics. He spent 1895 in a nearby high school in Aron, a small town at the border of Germany and Switzerland. He returned to his Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in 1896, underline it, from where he graduated in 1900, underline it. He became a professor of theoretical physics, underline it, at the University of Zurich, underline it, in 1909, underline. In 1921, again underline it, he received the Nobel Prize, underline it, for physics, underline it. So in this way, you will read the text very careful and you will underline all the keywords, all the expected answers. Now what you have to do, you have to find out the information as per the table. And that time you must have to keep your mind about the keywords. So keep the keywords in your mind and keep the gaps in your mind. Then try to find out the answers from the passage. Here you can see the number one, it is under place. That means Einstein born place. That means where he was born. You can see in Ulm, Germany. The students see I have written here answers to the question number 4 because you actually get this question in question number 4. That's why I have written here answer to the question number 4. So number 1 answer will be in Ulm, Germany. Why? Because see the number 1 is under place and place is here the keywords. Okay, so as you have got number 1 question under place, so you must have to write the name of a place, and that one is in Ulm, Germany. Number 2, it is under the keyword name of the event. That means what was the event which happened in 1894 in Milan, Italy? It is the family movement. That means the family moved in Milan, Italy in 1894. We get this information from the text. Next, number 3. This question is under the keyword place. And number question 4, it is under the keyword year or time. That means in number 3, they'll have a name of place, and in number 4, they'll have time or year. And it is all about his becoming a professor. And number 3 will be University of Zurich, and number 4 will be in 1909. Okay, that means in 1909 he became a professor in University of Zurich. Next one, number 5, see, it is under the achievement. In 1921, what was his achievement? And it is obviously Nobel Prize. And we have written here, received Nobel Prize. See, I told you, you have to write the answer in phrase. You should not write only Nobel Prize. You should write the whole thing which will match the answer with the remaining part of this line. That's why I have written here, received Nobel Prize. So dear students, if you practice at home in this way, then obviously you will be successful in your exam and you'll get good marks. Another sample question for analysis, and it is about Nelson Mandela. Here also you'll get the same question, read the following text and answer the questions 4 and 5. Yet the 4 number is information transfer. So what you have to do here, again, you have to read the table very carefully. You have to keep the keywords and gaps in your mind very carefully before starting reading the text, because these things will help you to find out the correct answer from the text. Now, let's read the text at first. Nelson Mandela was born on 18th July 1918 in South Africa. He had two surnames, Madiba and Black Pimpernel. From his boyhood, he saw the cruelty of the white to the black. At the time, the white people hated the black people. It was unbearable to little Madiba. Underline it. I told you in the previous question that you have to underline the key words while reading the text. Then it will be very easy for you to find out the correct, accurate answer. Okay, next line. Becoming actively involved in the anti-apartheid movement. Underline it. In his 20s, underline it. Madiba joined the African National Congress. Underline it. Government. For this, he was imprisoned on Robben Island. Underline it. For 18 years. Again, underline it. In 1993, again, underline it. Mandela and F.W. de Klerk, underline it, were jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, underline it. In 1994, Mandela was elected the South Africa's first black president. In 2009, underline it, Mandela's birthday was declared as Mandela Day by the UN, underline it. Mandela died at his home in Johannesburg, underline it, on December 5, 2013, underline it, at the age of 95, underline it. Now what you have to do, you have to read the table and you have to follow the keywords and you have to maintain the the demand of the gaps. Okay, so number one, you can see it is under the keyword event. That means there we have to write event. The Mandela one event, South Africa 1918. So the question number 4, again that it will be was born. Mandela was born. Okay. Number two, it is under where. That means he involved himself in 1942. Where? The answer will be in the anti-apartheid movement. Anti-apartheid means Borno Bad Birodhi. Okay. He was imprisoned. Number 3, under where, under the keyword where. That means he was imprisoned where? It will be on Robben Island. Number 4, it is under who and what declared Mandela Day, the UN. And number 5, it is under where he died, where in 2013, it is at his home in Johannesburg. So dear students, if you learn in this way, if you practice in this way, obviously you will get full marks in the exam. Thanks a lot. Stay fine, stay safe. That's all.